not relevant to IB, but what are the exit opportunities compared to IB for hedge funds or recruit out of college like Bridgewater Associates? So you're saying comparing the exit opportunities for Bridgewater versus IB? I don't really know what the exit opportunity for Bridgewater is, to be honest. I feel like most people, if they start at a hedge fund, usually they stay kind of in public investing. The skill set you develop in a hedge fund is like pretty specific to like, it's like, you get really good at picking stocks and you probably just keep doing that. Then again, I'm not saying you can't do other things. Like when I worked at Square, like I had a coworker from Bridgewater who left Bridgewater to go work at Square. He's like on the business team. He works on like their go to market strategies and whatever. I think that's still possible. I would say, with IB, like you probably have a bit more flexibility in terms of like you can go to a hedge fund, you can go to a private equity firm, you can go into venture capital, especially if you're working in tech IB, or maybe biotech IB. And so I just think like there's a bit more flexibility. Flexibility only matters if you don't have conviction about what it is that you want to do in the long run, right? Like if you say like, hey, in the long run, I know I want to do public investing. I know I want to work for a hedge fund. Maybe starting at Bridgewater is great. And Bridgewater is like a very reputable firm. Obviously, like having that on your resume is going to be better than a lot of options, right? It also depends on like what bank are you comparing it to, right? Like the exit opportunities aren't the same at every single bank. So like if you say I'm going to Goldman TMT versus I'm going to some middle market bank, it's not the same, right? So it's hard to say like IB versus Bridgewater. Like again, it's probably going to have to be on a case by case basis. I will say like with Bridgewater, at least I don't know if this has changed. They have kind of like a unique culture and sink or swim type of environment. And I've heard, at least I don't know, I never worked there, right? But I've heard that it's like relatively easier to like get fired there than at a lot of other places, right? Like if they don't feel like you fit the Bridgewater culture, or I mean, hedge funds in general in the first place already is very much like you eat what you kill environment, right? Like if your picks aren't good or like you have a couple bad quarters, like maybe they cut you loose because it's a lot more short-term investing versus like if you work at a PE firm, you might acquire a company and like you won't know what's going to happen to that deal for at least 5 years. So anyway, like those are some things that I would like keep in mind too, like going to hedge fund. I have buddies that ended up going to hedge funds and like after a while when they didn't really want to work at a hedge fund anymore, like it was kind of hard for them to find like what the next thing is for them because one, like it's kind of like golden handcuffs, right? You're making so much money at your hedge fund job, but a lot of jobs you kind of just like don't want to take because you're taking such a big haircut on your compensation. You're not willing to go do FP&A or you're not willing to go do like corporate development even because like you're getting paid so much less. At that point, like you have lifestyle creep and it's hard to like really kind of like walk that back. It's very rare for you to see people go from like a hedge fund to a private equity firm, for example, because but like public investing, private investing is still slightly different. And the part that you're missing is like, yeah, you can analyze companies, but like you don't really know how to like do deals. Like there's like the administrative side of deals. There's like managing the deal process, right? There's like contracts and lawyers and that stuff like you will learn in PE that you wouldn't really learn in hedge funds. A lot of people go from PE to hedge funds because in PE, like you're learning how to think like an investor. And so you can still do that. You know how to build models, you know how to do diligence. So you can still do all that when you move over to the hedge fund side. But it's kind of hard to move the other way because you don't know how to like run a deal process. That's why I always tell people too. It's like, I mean, if you're not sure what you want to do in the long run, as far as exit opportunity goes, I still think that like private equity is the most flexible exit opportunity that you could have after banking, right? Because you can go from PE to VC, you can go from PE to hedge fund, but it's hard to go from hedge fund to PE for the reasons I just stated. It's also hard to go from VC to PE because in VC, you're investing in much earlier stage companies, which like there's very little modeling involved. So you don't have that modeling skill set that you would get in PE. And so, yeah, if you're not sure, if you're not conviction on what you want to do, I'm not saying those other industries are bad. Like if you know that's what you want to do, like by all means, go for it. If you're not really sure yet, then I would say like IB to PE first, and then like PE, after PE, you can always decide what direction you want to go in after that.
Hey there, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're looking for more customized advice that's tailored for your specific situation, then I invite you to book a free strategy session with our team at the link below. We'll talk to you soon.